Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So if you're a subscriber, welcome, happy to have you. If you're new, welcome, happy to have you. So I just wanted to volunteer some information because I don't want you to feel like bad when you love someone or you care about someone and they betray your trust or they hurt you mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, right? And they waste your time, your energy, your resources, right? So for those of you who are familiar with my channel, my name is Nicole. I'm your relationship coaching and motivational speaker. And a relationship is not 50-50. A relationship is 100-100. Can I tell you a true story? Um, we hear things and we might go to church or Sunday school or read the Bible, and we'll hear things like be a cheerful giver, right? So, my mother has an older sister. So you are familiar with my channel, you know that my mom is extremely toxic, right? And so I am the youngest of 4 grandchildren, and I am the only child, and I was raised by a single parent, and I don't know my dad, right? So my mom's oldest sister was married with 3 children, and they're divorced now. That's a different video, but she was like a second mother to me, right? She was a cheerful giver. Like she raised me as if I was one of her own because she had 2 sons and a daughter, right? And so when I say she raised me like I was one of her own, because my mom was in the military full time, I would go there for the summers, and my aunt would, give me clothes, and she would, teach me woman things, right? My aunt was very feminine, and my mother was like very masculine. And I don't think that had anything to do with the military. I just think that was, her personality, right? So the reason why I say a relationship is 100-100, and I wanted to make this video and volunteer some information, and I hope and pray that it's a blessing to you, is because only the people who have access to you can hurt you the most, right? And so unfortunately, my grandmother passed away a few years ago. If she was alive right now, she'd be 90. But she passed away at 86, right? 2021. And my mother had not seen her nephew in over 10 years, maybe 14, but at least 10, right? A lot of time it went by. So, he's a married man, household of 7, him and his wife. He has, 5 beautiful children, right? Household of 7. And unfortunately, my grandmother is passing away, and we're in the hospital, and this is around COVID. So it's very strict, a lot of rules. And so I FaceTime him. I never FaceTime. So I FaceTime him and answer the phone, and he's in tears because I'm in the hospital bed with my grandmother playing dolls. Because if you're familiar with my channel, you've probably seen my little cute stress baby. And, she had less than 2 weeks to live. So him and I are about 8-9 hours away, and it was last minute. So of course, tickets and everything are expensive. And I said to him, I said, hey, if you can get yourself out here, you can stay at my house, you can drive my car, like, I'll cook for you, like, you don't have to spend any money. We're first cousins, right? And so he comes out within like 24 to 48 hours. I let him stay in my room because I, had 3 bathrooms, full bath in my room, full bath in my son's, and then we had the half bath. So I let him stay in my room. I slept in my son's room. My son had bunk beds. I slept at the top, and I let him drive my car because, you know, he has this beautiful family, house, you know, 7. And these plane tickets could be like $500 to $600 round trip, especially last minute. So, you know, your family. And of course, my grandmother wants to see her grandchildren. And so, if you're familiar with my channel, I come from a military family. A lot of people have served in the military, and 2 of my first cousins are in the Air Force. So, me being the youngest, and then my other cousin who came in town, we're considered civilians because we're not in the military. So the other 2 couldn't make it, right? Like, everybody loves and cares about my grandmother, but, you know, life be lifing. So I hope this message is a blessing to you. My mom, house is bigger than mine. She has like 4-bedroom house, full basement, mother-in-law suite, right? So the mother-in-law suite, like, a person could live down in the basement. And she has 2.5 baths, but she doesn't let family stay at her house at all. Not just my cousin, which is my first cousin, and her nephew, but it could be anybody, right? And he, you know, visits my grandmother and says his final goodbyes, and my grandmother's very happy. And he goes to my mom's house because, you know, we're family. And they weren't on odds at all. And he's excited to see her. But my mom, if you are familiar with my channel, she's toxic. So she doesn't open the door, she doesn't see him, she doesn't embrace him, she doesn't give him a hug, she doesn't take him out to eat or anything of that nature. I know 100% she's home because at the time I had the app on my phone and I was tracking her on the app. My mom, right, says, well, I didn't let him in the house because, you know, he's not Christian and all this stuff. So to give you the backstory, my family was raised like Christian, Southern Baptist, whatever. And, you know, as people get older and they evolve, people find their own way, right? And so he has his own beliefs. But at the end of the day, we're still family. And I know 100% his mother would never treat me like that. Like, she's never treated me like that, right? And I want to make this video, and I hope and pray this a blessing to you, because it takes time to get to know people. It takes time to understand that the love you are giving, the energy, the time, the money, the resources, you unfortunately might not receive that back. And I think sometimes we always put it in a romantic sense, right? But it could be with anybody. It could be a fake friend. It could be a relative, family, co-worker. Like, you know, it could just be anybody, because when the devil shows up, he's going to come to you in a person, place, or a thing, because it's spiritual. So he needs a body. He needs a vessel, right? And unfortunately, if you're familiar with my channel, my mom allows the devil to operate within her. So, of course, you know, I hold my mom accountable. And that's another reason why I don't have a relationship with her, is because I have friends, you know. I work in corporate America. I have friends. I know people who, you know, some people are believers, some people are not, some people are Christian, some people are Muslim, you know, and you have to get along with people, right? And regardless of his beliefs, we're still related, right? You just don't treat people like that. And you have to be selfless instead of selfish. And my mom was making it about her when it was really about my grandmother, right? Like, she had less than 2 weeks to live. So I hope and pray that this message was a blessing to you. I just don't want you to ever feel bad if it took you a long time to realize someone wasn't who they said they were or who you thought they were. Jesus Christ loves you. God bless you. He only wants the best for you. My name is Nicole. I'm your relationship coach and your motivational speaker. Take care. Bye-bye.